Hello and welcome to the second round of Formula Sprint 2 this year at Turkey, and we're going to hop straight into qualifying, and this is my first lap of quality, done the outlap. And I'll take you through a lap, even though there is quite a few mistakes, and the first one being just turning too much, not slowing enough. And this time my recording didn't corrupt, so you'll be able to hear me and my teammate in both races and qualifying, although my microphone was very quiet in this, so yeah, we make another mistake in turn 3, but we're just going to continue on the lap here, just get one on the board, even if it's completely terrible. This track was very fun to drive actually. I enjoyed practicing for it, did quite a lot of setup testing. It was meant to rain. We thought it was going to rain for qualifying and both races, and maybe a drying track in race 2, but it ended up not raining, so just a dry session for both races in qualifying, which I was more than happy with, because I did I'm on my dry setup and I did all my practice in the dry and didn't really do much wet practice, so lucked out a little bit there. So as we come into the downhill chicane, coming up to the end of sector 2, this is my favourite turn on the track easily. We're a second down, so we want to be aiming for the 43s, I believe. I think, yeah. So race pace is low 44s, qualifying is high 43s, and as you'll see, I'm second down, and I have a 45, I think that's a 44.8, can't really see what that says. Oh no, it said 45.0, so this is going to be a 44.9ish. I managed to get some time back in the last chicane, but that's that lap done. I put 7 litres of fuel in, so that's enough for 1 out lap from the pit lane, 2 quality laps, then an in lap. So you can reset and go out again. And I locked the Riz. As you can hear me say, I locked the Riz. That's a completely void lap. I'm not going to bother trying to improve there. As I skip forward to the end of, not the end of quali, but I've gone out again. And I mean, we're green this time, and as you can see, we're on for a 43, high 43, as we almost spin the car around. And yeah, this track really decimates the front right tyre more than Melbourne did, so 2 laps is all we can manage here as we lock the Riz again into turn 1, but we're still green, so I can sort of take you through a lap. So we're coming up to turn 3. You don't want to brake and turn. You do want to brake and turn, but as you can see, braking just about 50%, but too much turning, too much throttle and turning at the same time, so that's another lap rip. Oh, I was going to take you through the lap, but I think this is my best lap. I can't quite remember the order in which I've edited this, but I think this is my best lap. So coming down to turn 1, you want to be hard on the brakes, not too hard to the point where you want to lock up the rears, and I didn't really lock up, but I lost grip, so definitely could have gained another 10th there. Out of turn 2, don't want to cut on the curb. So coming into turn 3, not too much brake, not too much steering, and then put the throttle in so we don't get the oversteer. Turn 4 and turn 5, want to lift off oversteer to kick in, and then put the accelerator down. Do not go on that curb on the outside, it will take you wide. And it almost did, and we're currently 14th, behind Simon Slava, again. A recurring theme for these videos, as we get the uphill right-hander pretty well. We did lose a tiny bit of time, but it doesn't matter, we're green, and I'm going to full send it in sector 3 as we come through this combination of left turns that I think is a combined, I think everyone just associates, everyone just calls it turn 8. I think it's a quadruple left-hander. For this downhill chicane, braking between 150, accelerate early so the lift-off oversteer doesn't kick in. And now here's the big back straight. This is where all the action will happen, slipstream and battles. You want to be 0.5 behind someone in the race if you want to be able to overtake them, if you're on the same wing level as them, but wing levels, it varies. Here we go, braking at the 100 into the final section. A really difficult hairpin to get right, really difficult section. And you want to be on the throttle, keeping the car's minimum speed quite high. And we sort of pretty much ace it. It could have been a lot better for me, but we didn't lose too much time compared to our best. And it's a 44, it's a 43.7, puts us P10. Right behind Brody Lawless, actually, who he definitely could have done better, but he did tell me he had screen freezes all throughout quali. This is our final lap. We're already down, so we want to improve, and that last lap was actually pretty good for my standards. Shuffling a little bit wide there. Car rotates around on us a little bit too much, and we're already at 10th down, and gone on that curb. Like I said, it just drifts you wide over the grass, and that's my quali over. But P10, and my teammate was P19.
A low 0.9.
With 0.9, a low 0.9. That's 0.15 of a second behind us. As you can see, it's 0.6 back on Amari Watson with a 43.3. We're P11. 0.4 back, so 0.2 the difference. 0.15 the difference. Very, very close qualifying, and we're missing one person. As we come into race 1. Warming up our brakes, as you can see. Want to be on 600 degrees by the grid, as it will cool down by the time everyone gets to the grid. As we do start better than Australia. And I'm trying a new start. I keep it in first and clutch in. I have 2 clutches on my Mozo FSR wheel, so one does 85% clutch and one does 15%. So as the lights go out, which are about to, fit in, as soon as the lights go out, drop the clutch, drop one side, and then slowly drop the other one. And I missed the start a little bit, but we keep P11, so we have Damir Karatko on our inside, and he sort of just gets past us. I really can't remember what happens there, but we're going to get back past him because we're on the inside. A little bit of a touch there.
Oh my god, bro, they
Coming
brake
to
so
turn 4.
hard. What's going on here?
And I remember what happens here. 3 wide. I think that's Florian Haas on the outside, in the Blue Horns car, and we get that position easily. He started P7
already, bro.
As my teammates come in with damage, we send a massive move on Lorenzo Turi, who's he has only done 1 race previous, well technically 2. He drove in Academy Melbourne, which was after the FS2 race, a week after. So for his first race in FS2, he's doing very well. He's in the top 10. Like, what more could you ask for in your first race? But he is running higher wings compared to us, so that means we're going to have more speed down the straight. And as you can see, we're about to make light work with him. We're 0.2 back. As we have James Knox behind us. My teammate from last year, actually. I'm friends with him. We kind of get that wrong, actually. We accidentally bump him on the straight, and we just lost all of our speed, and we get absolutely swallowed. So we're going to stay on the outside. James Knox drifts wide. I'm going to stay on the left side. But I'm on the inside for the final turn, and we're just going to slot in. But James does get the better exit, so we're going to slot in behind him, and hopefully get the draft and block Damir Karatko and Joe Gillett, who are behind us, but we're in front. As you can see, also the top 3 has gotten away, as Mauro Tozzoli, Junior Lopez and Brody Lawless, they are just having a massive squabble up in front of us, so we're staying in the fight for P4 here, but it is only lap 2. As they've gone 3 wide into turn 4, and they've just I think some of them got damage from that. I can't quite tell. As we get back past James Knox for P10, and we're back behind Lorenzo Turi, who again is running the high wing, so we don't have to worry about it. He just sends a move on Michael Falkenheim in the Mapes VO car, which is Samuel Slavev's teammate. So back behind another Mapes VO, we're going to send it down the inside in turn 8. The quadruple left-hander.
Exotic, man, what are you doing?
And we make it work.
Why are you going too slow?
As our teammates having troubles. Usually you don't want to overtake there because you want to have the slipstream come straight, but we're still behind a car, so not ideal cut there. But we do have the slipstream as they almost crash behind us. Michael is not quite, considering I'm also in the slipstream, he's not going to be close enough to make an overtake. But as you can see, we're catching, 0.1 back.
Such a big gap. You see P18, that's me.
And there we go. Straight past. Perfect braking, no lock up. As you can even say, they are fighting really hard for this position. Brody has finally managed to get past Junior and Maratozoli and is flying away as
man.
we skip forward
Fucking, this guy leaves me no room at all.
to the end of lap
Jesus
3.
Christ.
It's our teammate complaining, who's having
Now he's
trouble with
braking slow,
P18.
yeah, he knows it.
Maratozoli and
Fucking
Magnus
send it on me,
Hockenhaug
this fucking bitch. Jesus Christ, bro.
side by side. They're gonna battle
Leaves me
quite hard,
absolutely no fucking space at all.
and I don't know how I managed to keep my concentration there, but we're gonna battle Tozzoli for this position. And as you can remember, well, I remember, not sure anyone else will, but we did send a move on Maratozoli into turn 6 at Australia, which is not easy to do, and we're about to do the same again on the inside in turn 1. No rear lock-up, perfect overtake, and through we go. On to the start of lap 3. Or 4. I don't actually remember, maybe it is lap 3. But we still have Maratozoli on our back. No, it's lap 4. As he goes over the bumps, and we're just moved on. Up into P7, our best position in race 1 yet, I believe. I think this is the highest I've ever been in a race 1. Maybe apart from Imola last year. But yeah, on to lap 5. As we have Maratozoli 0.4 behind us with no slipstream ahead, as we are dropping off the back. Juno Lopez and Brody Lawless in 4th and 5th are gone, and if you watch the broadcast, they were fighting very heavily for that 4th position, not allowing themselves to catch the 3 in front who were just on another level today, or this day.
So he can't overtake me.
Maratozoli on our outside. We drift slightly wide, no contact. He's on the wrong side of us for this last complex, and just about keep the position. He makes a mistake here by trying to get round me, as we're going to force him to the left side, so it's going to make it harder for him
I'm in an optimal
to outbrake us in turn 1.
hell.
As we move back over, just leave him enough room. Rear wing to front wing, and we keep the position. Maratozoli putting up a really
So
good
much
fight,
faster in turn 1, it's actually insane.
considering he's only driven
I gained
this
like 2
year,
tenths in there.
I believe. As our teammate is still fighting for not even a point yet. But we somewhat get away for now. And I think we skip forward in, yes we do, to the end of lap 8? The end of lap 8. And we're 0.5 ahead of James. So he's in the slipstream. We're gonna have to be careful. Magnus is now 2 seconds ahead. So we are holding up everyone. As you can see, the gaps in the top right, 1
Still
second
gaining so much on him.
between
so
most
far
and
back.
0.5. So we are the front of this train, and James almost clatters into the back of us. And if you keep looking at the wing mirror, I think they make contact. Nope, they didn't. It might be a different lap. We'll have to wait and find out, but we survive another lap onto lap 9. We're going to skip ahead to lap 12. Again, James is within the slipstream.
Begging
And
something happens.
This was just my whole race 1. Just defending.
No, P12 is a good position to be in, but
It's something I'm good at, and obviously if
Not
it's going to
sure.
keep happening, I'm just going to get better and better. As he's 0.5 back, within slipstream range again. Trying to break the toe by going
I
inside.
gained 4 tenths compared to last lap here.
And I make a mistake here
He's
by
a slip
leaving
now, though.
just enough room to get on the inside, so we're going to move all the way over for the braking zone.
Oh, Mauro is going slowly.
He makes the move, and we're going to give him the room and try not to tap him on the exit. But we want to stick with James for now, because that's free slipstream for us as we start lap 13
I've had damage for the entire race, by the way.
of 15.
It's nose damage though, so it's probably not much, but
So we want to be within about 0.5 to 0.7, considering the dirt area isn't that bad on this track. It's only really sector 1 where you lose time. So I think James is running in the mid 44s at this point. As you can see, our front right is absolutely gone. 67% tyre wear, and a lot of people would have been struggling with that. I'm not sure how much James was struggling, because I didn't have the data right in front of me. So we're going to try and nurse the front right home, just by driving consistently, not too fast, and keeping it on the road. So as we come up to the back straight, well, we're on turn 8, but we're going to come up to the back straight. We are still close enough at slipstream, 0.4 back, and I think we are running higher wings, so the turns should be a lot easier for us. But as you can see, we're projected for a 44.4 right now,
might
and
be on the table for me.
a good ballpark to be in around this part of the lap. We lose quite a bit of time on our quali lap PB best, but James had a really good exit, and I'll tell you now for a fact that if he was on the same wings as us, we'd be much closer to him right now. But 0.4 back in slipstream, past that right hand kink, not close enough for slipstream, and James keeps the position. Dame Karatko now behind us, so Mauro Tazzoli has fallen off the back of us in the last few laps, so we've got to worry about that too. So in my mind I'm thinking, right, just stick with James. As long as I'm keeping in James' slipstream and not making mistakes, we are good for P8. And got to be careful that I don't lock the rears as I did in quali twice. So we're just going to skip forward, still lap 14. As James, another just insane exit.
Oh yeah, I'm getting in.
I thought I was good through that turn in practice until I started this race. Turns out people are just much better than me. And our teammate has made positions actually with 12th. That is 4 points currently on the board. So the team, team RNG.
Holy shit.
My goal, as we lock up the front left, and Demir getting really close. Our goal is top 5 in the constructors. And right now, after Melbourne, I think we're 7th, 8th? I'm not quite sure. But with a non-points finish for our teammate and our double points finish, we're looking pretty healthy as we come to the final lap. And this is the crucial one. We have Demir Karatko right behind us, and we're 0.4 within James. We make another mistake, but we're nowhere near the cut limit. So we can push, we can risk. Obviously, try not to cut on purpose, because that's pretty scummy and not how we want to get this P7 off James. But we're sticking with him, and currently 61% on the final lap at Turkey, which is really good tyre wear preservation, as I think even though I was in the bottom half of people with good tyre wear in the race, because I looked at the logs afterwards, we were on average 2.8% per lap usage of our front right, and that's quite a lot for a track, because it's about 70% where the front tyre start losing a bit of grip. You'll notice it about 85%, but 70% is where it really gets bad, and it's counteracted by the amount of fuel you have in your car, so there's less weight. And we are close enough to the slipstream this lap, as this is a banger lap, by the way. 44.2 projected on the back straight, and I know we've had slipstream, but we're going to go for the move on the outside, and we're just about side by side. He brakes later than us, locks up, and at the end of the day, it's racing. But I have reported him for that, because being taken out on the last lap and losing 2 potential positions.
Fuck yes, I got him on the final lap.
P9, better than our race 1 Melbourne.
I'll take that. That's definitely reverse grid.
And even better,
let's go. This was such a good race from you, bro.
So, as we learned from Melbourne, there's a reverse grid in race 2, and Michael Fulgenhagen takes pole from P14, so that means we start 6th, and our teammate starts 5th. So, we can maybe work together to get positions. So, this couldn't have been any better for us. And things just starting P19 to P10. He just needs better qualifying, and he'd be up there. Really, he'd be contending for just below the top of the midfield and below P5.
Why?
P5 to P10. So I don't know what I'm bothering in the call. I think I mentioned something about Kunda, and if you know, you know. Really. But we're starting 6th for this race. Further up than when we started last time, with drivers that finished below us. So theoretically, we should be getting past them. That noise is so bad. As we get a better start than last time, our teammate gets an even better start and is already on the inside of Joe Gillette, but he gets, I mean, I'm pretty sure he got a cut point for that, but it doesn't matter. He's going to stay ahead. As always, I love to make my lap 1 moves. As he just goes for the inside, Joe Gillette, it's really ungrippy on the outside of the track.
I'm gonna
We've got Damir Karatko for the 2nd time in 2 races, side by side with us in Sector 1.
Yep.
Sorry, that's not Damir, that was James Knox. Got that wrong. Damir was the one behind us and not next to us. As we're gonna... I've asked you just to dive late, so I could dive on Joe Gillette as we unsettle the car slightly. A bit of contact, but no damage. But we're gonna keep P6. But this is the crucial part. We're gonna come to the back straight, and this is where we want to be in the slipstream. As I've said this constantly, back straight, slipstream, front straight, slipstream. As long as it's long enough for slipstream, you want to be in it. As we break a tiny bit late and get a bit of nose damage. I'm not sure if we gave Joe any damage, but
I'm gone.
I haven't been reported, and it has been 48 hours after the race is concluded, which is when you cannot go to the committee about penalties and stuff. As we're 2 abreast twice, as we're just going to take the inside line.
I went wide. I went deep.
As Joe goes wide, and 2nd time in that lap for him, gets on the ungrippy part of the track, and we're through. So, all we need to do now is stick with our teammate, and that's
I'm gonna try
all I
and
need
push
to do.
as hard as I can.
As you know from quali, I suck at turn 1,
I can tell.
and now
Me too, a
that's
little bit.
allowed James Knox to close up on the back of us. We're going to defend into turn 3. Magnus almost made... No, that's not Magnus, that's Joe Gillette. Magnus is a little bit further back. As we bump with James Knox side by side in Sector 1. Room given.
Oh, there's really almost.
Oh, I like racing with James. Very, he knows when to give room. Very experienced driver. But now our goal is catch back up with our teammate and get in that fight, because we don't want to let them run away with us. But again, another mistake on the 2nd lap of the race.
What
Not
tire
good enough
percentage
for
are
my
you on?
standards.
Right. Yeah, I'm on 96.
As I'm communicating with Fegis or tyres.
Don't worry,
because that's just
the race will come to us.
British pronunciation compared to tyres, Dutch pronunciation. Either one, it's him. We do get a good exit, but James is 0.5 back, and it's not going to be enough to defend.
We got Brody behind you as well.
So this is a lot more chaotic race than race 1. As I'm risking getting a bump on that curb there.
Well, they're fighting.
Again,
They're
I've
fighting
made a
in front.
mistake not defending.
They're stupid.
I need to
They're
remember
fucking
this for next
stupid.
round.
They're actually fucking stupid.
James lags across the track and misses us by so little, it's not funny. Like that, if that had happened, I would have been I'd been fuming. That would have not made my day. As we've got Brody Lost behind us, and from Melbourne, he's just one of the quickest cars on the track. We make another mistake in turn 1. I was going to let him through after this anyway, but through he goes.
A little bit less grip, I
Get a track limit for that. We're going to use the slipstream to defend from Joe Gillette, as this is the common theme of this track. Us defending. Like, I want to be the one attacking for once.
I'm 93 as well.
And we're just going to watch Brody just drive away from us.
Yeah.
So we're going to go into defending mode. And
I don't
try
think
and
I'm in
preserve
slip,
that
but
front
I'm on
row.
for a 0.0.
But our teammate has a good chance of podium here, so whatever result we get, this is good points for RNG, as long as we both keep it on the black stuff, or grey. It's very dark, so it looks kind of greyish. By black stuff, I mean tarmac.
That's fucked up. I'm with that.
Get good enough exit
Okay, 0.75.
in the final turn.
That's doable.
Not been overtaken on the straight this time around, so I think we go ahead to the end of the lap.
I can't really do anything here.
0.5 back. I don't know if he's
He's in slipstream as well.
because I don't really know what
They're
rooms he's
fighting
on.
again though, at the front. Oh my god, the teammates and they're fighting. They're so dumb, man. Oh, Carno's taking the lead now.
And as you've heard, the top 2 are fighting whilst teammates And after the race, someone in my group, we just get punted from behind. I don't know whether I didn't leave him enough room there, but in our group, one of the guys in our group, as you might know, Rodrigo, some of you, we called them both silly.
We're out of slip now from Falkenheim.
For fighting for that, because they could have got an easy one too, if they just slipstream trained each other, but they didn't. And Carno's fallen off the back of his teammate Michael.
Oh, he's giving both of us slip.
There's a big battle at the front going on, but we have our own worries. Joe Gillette, after punting us in the rear, or us not leaving him enough room, is going to have another go on the wrong side of the track, interestingly. But we give him the room, and he gets the position, and we've almost been swiped by James Knox again. So he's gotten very close to us, and he's doing his goddamn hardest to fight off Junior Lopez, who forces him off. Not quite. I think that was fair enough.
Man, that fucking guy was an idiot there. Jesus
So
Christ.
we're on lap 6 now. Again,
I'm gonna give
now
Brody
on the
slip.
straight.
I'm giving Brody slip.
There's no point defending from Junior Lopez, but we have the slipstream, so we don't need to defend. We're going on the attack as I look up from front left, watch the mirror, and he dives it on the inside. I was not expecting that from Junior. So I'll remember that, Junior. You're very aggressive. He's going to try it on the inside of us in turn 1. And I respect this, but we're not going to leave him room. We're going to give him just enough room, but he has to back out. As we get another cut, a bit too wide, doesn't really matter. It's only 0.5. Not really a threat of getting a drive-through penalty, but he's on the inside, so we're going to have to leave him the room again. We drift slightly wide. Still on our inside, well outside for turn 4, but inside for the turn 5 coming up.
Whoa, Carno.
Lose a bit of grip.
You don't want to be making those mistakes.
And he gets a better exit than us. Now we're
under
side by
pressure.
side, but we're going to dive up on the inside in the
I'm in slip.
uphill
I might
right. Side by side still, and James is making it 3 wide. You might want to back out of that one, buddy. And he does. As we're going to stick with Junior Lopez. 0.1 back. So, in theory, from here, 0.2 back could be a slipstream range, right? As I said before, everyone is so good at this turn. I thought I did this turn pretty well. It doesn't matter, he's 0.5 gone already and breaking the slipstream. And off he goes into the sunset. I mean, we're going to try and slipstream him. Try to break the toe like we did a couple of laps ago, or last race. But it's not going to be enough in the end. We needed lower wing. I got as close as I wanted, and it wasn't enough. And like Brody, he's just going to drive away from us. We just didn't have the pace this race.
Carno's feeling it.
And I have to think back to what happened on lap 2 or lap 3.
Yeah.
One of the laps where I locked my rears in turn 1. As I've just done it again. And the guys behind are 3 wide. Kasper Kuritz now behind us in the RGS. Teammate to Brody Lawless is now behind us, and I just lost more time to them. So really poor race from me here.
Might be good.
But we are still in the top 10, so I guess I'm happy with it for now. But Kasper's someone that I would let through, because there's no point defending from him. I'm not against him. He's in the same group as me, he helps me with subs. But he's not close enough, and in my eyes, I didn't want to be swallowed up. Because that is what happened. That's been what's happening all race. There are up to 14. I would have been in 14 if I let him there. If I let him pass there.
Junior's here as well. I'm not going to get a
positions
podium.
than I do in this race. Because there are so many fast drivers behind James, Magnus, Sandy, the Mircrack, Amari Watson, race 1 winner. But we get another good exit at
70 front right.
what I think is turn 9, but I'm just going to refer to it as downhill chicane. But anyway, 0.5 back, Kasper, and I know he's on lower wings than me, but I don't think he's close enough this time. So we're going to stay ahead of him again
Oh my god.
for another lap, as you can see him braking before I do. Run out a bit wide, but it's not going to matter. too much. Still pumping in the high 44s. Trotting along. I think I'm the slowest driver in the top 15 this whole race. So
Fucking hell,
starting
you were
6th.
so slow there. He gave me damage. What a bitch. What are you doing, man?
He's talking about Carno.
He
So
just
Carno, if
stopped.
you're watching this is for you. As I think Joe Gillette has come in contact with Mauro Tozzoli, so free position for us, and we mess it up again. As you want to be on the outside for the uphill right. If you're side by side going into the quadruple left, as we almost crash. That was.
Carno's gonna let fucking Junior by, obviously.
I didn't know that. I didn't know I was close to crashing there. I don't remember anything like that. But yeah, you want to be on the outside for the uphill right as you get the inside for the next turn. But Casper's close enough behind us now to where he wants to get through. And this is what I found weird, is he pulled out the slipstream very early. But then I thought to myself, well, it's just more blocking. But he didn't really block James there. James tries to outbrake Casper, locks up again from James. As we're still ahead of Casper, and we're going to try it on the inside of James, over the curb. And we give him not really enough room on the grass, and we're 3 wide coming into turn 1 on lap 13.
He let him by.
So we've still got 3 laps to go. Casper takes the inside. And thank you to Casper for this, and you might be able to hear it in from my microphone. He gives us slipstream. Thank you, Casper, I love you. But we're going to fight James for this position, because, you know, we're thinking back to race 1. Don't want to give him it easy. I don't want to force him off the track, though. Not like I did to Kinaya from Melbourne. But he gets forced up by someone else, I think. I think that was Magnus. And if you see on the middle right of our screen, Sandeep Singh is now into the picture in 12th. And Sandeep, last year, Superlights Constructors Champion, I think top 4 in the championship, 2 steps above us. So, one of the fastest people on this grid. And he's now behind us. Very experienced racer. So, very nice to be driving against some of the most experienced people in GPV, even in the lowest tier on the career ladder. And he's 0.4 back. And I remember from Melbourne, he used low wings. So he's going to be very low wings here. As
oh yeah, sure, but
he's just better than us. We get to the braking point. He's still behind us, but he just outbreaks us. And again, but I think to myself, I didn't defend. What am I doing? Gives us just
oh, what the
room.
fuck? I had a screen freeze. No shot.
Oh, he does make me laugh sometimes. We're gonna try and bamboozle Sandeep here by faking him into turn 1. Obviously, it's not gonna work because he's not dumb.
Oh, I had one chance to re-overtake him, and I had a screen freeze for the first time fucking ever.
But now our job with 1 lap to go is keeping P10, which I think is a solid 6 points. So honestly, so P9 in race 1 and defending 10th currently in race 2. I think it's less points than my Melbourne, starting lower as well. So I'm happy with the qualifying. I'm not happy with the consistency from this race.
Oh fuck off! I'm not gonna let Carno
we do have an entire
overtake me as well.
So maybe more practice is needed. Maybe some setup tweaks. Maybe changing brake bias per turn. I mean, I've got 2 weeks till I think Suzuka is in 2 weeks' time. I raced that track in Academy last year. That was my first race in GPV. And I don't mind Suzuka. I quite like the track.
Yeah, you ain't getting shit.
But we got to defend from Magnus on this final lap. As he's 0.4 back. So this time it clocks into our brain to actually move over and stop the slipstream. But he's staying in it. As we're going to try and fake. But we're going to defend this time. And move back over when he does. So we try and give him minimal room. But we're on the correct side of the track now. And we've used our brain for once. As he almost swipes us into
fucking hell.
the
I'll take a
P4. We go
Jesus
wide.
Christ.
It doesn't matter. He just P4, me P10. Great points for RNG. not particularly happy with myself this race, but points to points really. So great start to our championship campaign in the first 2 rounds. As we look at the race 2 standings, and yeah, typical names up the front: Brody Lawless, Junior Lopez. Really surprised by Amari Watson and Sandy Psing not really getting through the field really quickly. I think they were held up by people during that race. So I don't really know what was happening, but here's the final standings. We've gone from 7th to 9th, but we're quite close for P6. And I said to myself, top 10 in driver standings this year. But I'm getting that goal. Domenico having 2 terrible results, non-points finishes twice, and we're 1 point behind him. And that is all for today. See you guys in 2 weeks for Suzuka.